What do I gotta say? What more can I say about yesterday's race? What a race! I'm sure you've all. Yeah, it was. And I'm not recording this at the track or anything, but I am recording this in the hotel. Like I said, I don't know when I said it somewhere. Maybe it was in like the NSDCA Discord or something. I'm pretty sure I said somewhere. If IndyCar comes back to Milwaukee, I'm going. And well, we're back. I'm gonna do it a little differently. I'm not gonna do any of the full standings or stuff, runs, downs. But I'll try to hit on some of the key stuff. But first, I just want to talk about the race. Another Friday. I didn't make it for the NXT practice. Well, actually, we were pulling into the parking lot. The park. And to see the NXT guys going around. And girl. I say girl, not girls, because there was two girls. One of them had already crashed by that point. That was Taylor Ferns. She ended up withdrawing. Reese Gold also crashed in practice. I wasn't there for that. And he ended up not getting cleared. So we only had 16 car start. Let's see Foster take the pole for the NXT race. Scotty Mack take the pole for race 1. The IndyCar race. Newgarden take the pole for race 2. That was all on Saturday. I got to meet somebody. I did meet one of my Discord friends in real life. That's pretty cool. That's something I've been kind of hoping to do ever since I started meeting people on that platform about 6 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, I should talk about the NXT race. I kind of figured it was going to be the Louis Foster show, and it was the Louis Foster show. So I got to see Foster clinch. There's a chance we see Pelot clinch today, but I got to at least see Foster clinch. That was the big one. Say the big one. That's the little series. He was doing really great at tire and pace management. He only really got challenged once when Salvador Diallo really close, like 25 to go. Shortened the race by 10 laps because I guess fuel reasons. And it's a throwback to the 70s NASCAR when the energy crisis forced them to shorten all the races by about 10%. So yeah, Louis Foster won that race. Jacob Abel ended up grabbing second. Salvador Diallo third. That was a pretty good race. There's some scraps throughout the field. Miles Rowe was going at. Rowe's a really talented guy. He's almost got like an Ernie Irvin reputation. I almost feel like from the few races I have seen it, where he almost outdrives his equipment a little bit too much and it costs them. Who's it? Christian Brooks, who's the guy who was in the 39 for pretty much the rest of the season, to fill in for Siegel. Him and Yuvan Sundramore, the Economowalk native. So he's driving his home track in a Wisconsin Badgers helmet scheme. That was great. That was awesome to see. But those two were having a great battle for like the entire race. It was a fantastic race. Congrats to Louis Foster, your 2024 Indiana NXT champion. And then we get to the IndyCar race, my first ever IndyCar race to see in person. Oh man. I thought I was just being biased walking out of there thinking that was one of the best races we had all year. No, I think a lot of the other people were thinking this is a fantastic race. Like, my initial worries is this could be too much like Iowa, but then again, I was thinking Gateway could be like that. I thought Gateway was pleasantly surprising. We could see another Gateway, and we got something even better than Gateway. Holy cow. Oh, this was an absolute corker of an event. Oh, my goodness. McLaughlin led early on, and then he got passed by Linus Lundqvist. I was watching a couple guys in practice, and I'm like, a lot of the Penske guys looked really hooked in, but the one guy I thought was really hooked in was Lundqvist. And then he ended up leading. Oh boy, this was a race. Ooh. Yeah. Let's see. Who else? We had like 5 different guys lead. Because Herta led, McLaughlin led, Lundqvist led. I think Power led a few laps, and Pato led a ton. That was there was a lot of action, a lot of you could pass. You could pass, you could defend your position, you could get around lap traffic. The tire fall off was really nice. I like the tire deg. The tire degradation really helped. There was some strategies that looked like they might work, and then they didn't work. Plo was having a weird race. Both coin cars got a top 20. You don't see that often. All three of the Rahal cars somehow sneaked into the top 20, even though they looked pretty off today. But, it helps when a couple guys, have problems. There was Grosjean getting the worst of it in a 3-wide situation with Kirkwood and Rasmussen late in the race. There was Marcus Ericsson and Newgarden going side by side in the turn 1 and 2, and they both end up in the fence. Cat leg spun early on, and she kept it off the wall, and I was just for some reason watching Cat leg, and then she just started spinning, and I just saw that fold, and then same with the Newgarden Ericsson deal. Yeah. And this was all this after IndyCar CEO Mark Miles made a statement that I think got on the nerves of a lot of IndyCar fans. This was after, of course, NASCAR is going to Mexico City. And they're talking about how Pato is apparently on a few billboards. He's getting a little better, although he's nowhere near the popularity of Adrian Fernandez. And I think Pato tweeted out, yeah, speaking of billboards, there was a billboard in the Milwaukee area for last week's truck race. Not the IndyCar. I only saw one IndyCar billboard heading in. I heard there was no advertising in Chicago, which I feel like is something you gotta do if you're gonna have an event in Milwaukee. It still seemed like a pretty decent crowd. I think if they market a little better, they can open up some more of the stands, though. Yeah, and I think Pato saw that, and I think he was racing the entire day with a chip on his shoulder, and well, what do you know? It paid off. Power was second. He was the only. He was close, but he couldn't catch Pato. Pato had a great run, and then Connor Daly was third. Yeah. Connor Daly third. So that blew the leader circle battle right out of the water. Christian Rasmussen was 11th. So they're putting some ground on the coin cars. So this is a rough week for coin to have a double top 20 because all their rivals were. But I think they're closing in on there's a couple other drivers that they're closing in on. That 20 car is. He's out. That's out of the leader circle now. But Rasmussen could catch. I think Fittipaldi's one, around 7 or 8 points back. I think if I've got my math right. And then there's another car which is the 20 is 3 points back of. Will Power got the championship lead down to 43. A lot of drivers need to make up ground for sure. No, yeah, a lot of drivers do need to make up ground for sure. Pato's going to get eliminated today after that win, unless Plo somehow doesn't start and Pato wins. That's the only way. Hurt had problems. He's going to be out. He's going to be out probably. Dixon's probably going to be out. I mean, this is assuming Plo has a good run today. So it's really going to be a Plo-Dixon title fight. Well, I think I said all I needed to say. It was pretty fun, pretty long day, pretty fun day. 2 races to go until a champion is crowned. We will see what happens then, I guess, at the second doubleheader race.